Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the First Unitarian Congregation of Ottawa. My name is Justine de Jager, and I serve as the Treasurer on the FirstU Board of Directors. Normally, if you would like more information about FirstU, it would be available at the welcome table at the back of the pews. However, while the FirstU building is closed because of the COVID-19 virus, you may instead contact us through email at welcome@firstunitarianottawa.ca. I repeat, for more information, please email us at welcome@firstunitarianottawa.ca. After the service and future services, our normal hospitality hour will be replaced by a virtual get-together. If you would like to join us for the hospitality hour on Zoom, please see our website, www.firstunitarianottawa.ca, or our weekly email newsletter, the EUU, for information on how to do so. Whatever your heritage, whatever your faith, whomever you love, and however you identify, today you are a part of our spiritual community. Welcome. We hope you come back soon.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lisa Boulay, and I'm delighted to be your worship associate this morning. Even though our doors have been closed since last March to do our part in preventing the spread of disease, our congregation has remained connected and active. We still are a vibrant congregation with open minds, spirits, and hearts. I hope this moment finds you well. This morning, I welcome you into my home and the homes of this morning's board member, our music director, our director of religious exploration, and Reverend Pat, our minister. Thank you for welcoming us into your home. Although we find ourselves in separate places, here we are together online, listening, connecting, and soon singing. A few more announcements. In these times, staff are working remotely and are monitoring emails during usual working hours. Phone calls will be checked less regularly, so please do email for a quicker response. It is more important than ever to sign up to receive the EUU, our weekly email newsletter. Check our Facebook page and our webpage for notices and updates. Our online calendar is as full as ever. Do look to this week's EUU and website for a variety of announcements, including Trivia Night, Song Circle, updates regarding the ministerial search, climate action, Sunday morning forums, and how to get involved with the annual pledge drive. For those chairing any committees, teams, working groups, Monday night, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. will be our first leadership council of this new congregational year. This will be a focus group for leaders with the ministerial search team. If any groups have not yet sent 2021 budget requests to our finance manager, the deadline is past, but some are outstanding. Do get budget requests to Michelle at fm@firstunitarianottawa.ca. Are you missing seeing your friends at FirstU? A great way to renew connections is to be a connecting caller during this time of COVID. Please do contact Reverend Pat at minister@firstunitarianottawa.ca if you would like to be a caller. Here ends today's announcements.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Mike Lloyd, and I'm a member of the search committee tasked with finding the next minister for FirstU. This is my little helper, Ruben. Say hi, buddy. We're nearing the end of the first stage of our search process, which is where we gather information about FirstU to share with ministers and to help us select a minister that will be an excellent fit for us. There are still 2 ways to participate, but you'll need to move quickly. The first way to participate is in the final virtual focus group being hosted by the search committee. This will be held on Tuesday, October 6th at 7 p.m. To register, email focusgroupregister@firstunitarianottawa.ca. If you forget this email address, go to the minister search section of our website and click on focus groups. The other way to participate in the search is to complete the congregational survey. The deadline is just a week away, October 12th, Thanksgiving Day. It's really important that we receive input from as many congregants as possible, so please complete the survey soon. To find the survey, go to www.firstunitarianottawa.ca and click on Minister Search at the top of the homepage, and then click on the survey button. Or you can click directly on the link you'll find in the information underneath this video. Please note, if you're watching on a tablet or a phone, you'll need to click the arrow beside the title of the video to see this info. Thank you for supporting our settled minister search process. Me and Ruben, thank you very much. Hey, buddy, let's get in there and push that button.
Bonjour. Good morning, everyone. I am the Reverend Pat Guthmann Haresch. And this morning, as we celebrate our annual pledge campaign kickoff, woohoo! May we face the future with a vision of hope. And so, our chalice reading is adapted from the late African-American scholar and activist, Dr. Loretta Williams. We, bearers of the dream, affirm that a new vision of hope is emerging. We pledge to work for that community in which justice will be actively present. We affirm that there is struggle yet ahead, yet we know that in the struggle is the hope for the future. We affirm that we are co-creators of the future, not passive pawns. And we stand united in affirmation of our hope and vision of a just and inclusive society. We celebrate our hopes for human unity within ourselves and within this gathered community. We will discover the strength not to hide in indifference, affirming that hope publicly expressed energizes and enables us to move forward. Together we pledge action to transcend barriers, be they racial, political, economic, social, or religious. We pledge to make our vision for tomorrow become our today, here and now. May it be so. I have a special guest again this morning. Hey, buddy, come and light the chalice. We are home because of COVID. I can explain that later. You could light the chalice. Right? Can you do it? Come with me. Want to help me? I think I'm going to have to do it again. Thank you, buddy. Let us sing the Chalice Song. Chalice, chalice, burning bright, help remind us with your light of how we'd like to live each day with love and truth helping lead the way.
Hi everyone, it's Nao, your Director of Religious Exploration, and Erickson. So today I'm sharing with you a story titled Be Who You Are. It's written by Todd Parr. Be who you are. Be old, be young, be a different color. Wear everything you need to be you. Speak your language. Learn in your own way. Be proud of where you're from. Be your own family. Just be who you are. Be silly, be brave.
Are you making a toy? And then I have a cake out there?
Sure. Share your feelings. Just be who you are. Try new things. Be confident. Stand up for yourself. Be energetic. Be peaceful. Be the best you can be. Just be who you are. Again, that story is by Todd Parr. Do you want to say hi to everybody, Erickson?
Hi, everybody.
Say I miss you.
I miss you.
All right, everybody. Wishing you a great Sunday. Bye.
This is the time in the service when we are drawn closer to the heart of love at our center and hold those both near and far, loved ones and strangers, in our hearts. These words from the late Jewish scholar, author, activist, Martin Buber. No encounter with a being or a thing in the course of our lives lacks a hidden significance. The people we live with or meet with, the animals that help us with our farm work, the soil we till, the materials we shape, the tools we use, they all contain a mysterious, perhaps spiritual substance which depends on us for helping it towards its pure form, its perfection. The highest culture of the soil remains basically arid and barren unless day by day waters of life pour forth into the soul from those little encounters. May we remain connected and water and nurture each other and take joy in all of our little encounters. So today, as we do, I will place stones in the water for those you've mentioned to me that you're thinking of, joys and concerns weighing in our hearts. A stone I want to mention, I said I'd say something about COVID and Alex, and a parent of a classmate of his tested positive for COVID. They're waiting for the test on his classmate, and as is happening in the public schools, now we're all virtual, and we're all waiting to see if our kids should be tested and have symptoms, and so my heart goes out to his friends, family. I hope they get better and that the rest of the family tests negative. I'm thinking of the anxiety and stress for all the other families of the kids in Alex's class, the teacher and classroom assistant and everybody. And my heart goes out to all the other parents who are in this position too, or are waiting for the day when they'll get the call from the school. So lots of stones. But I do have a couple joys to share, a couple stones of joys. I just want to share that our intern Ian is done with quarantine, yay, after his adventure, right, coming across the border. Enjoy, Ian. Ottawa and the surrounding area is just beautiful, and there's so much to do, and the colors are so brilliant. So a stone of joy for Ian. Another stone of joy. Some of you may know that Mariella and Andrew have been helping some Syrian families and some of their newcomer Syrian friends, as Andrew said. Some of them have welcomed a new grandchild and a child into the world. Irene is the first natural-born Canadian in their family, in the Syrian family, and they are thrilled. So we share in that joy too. A stone of care. We're thinking of Kate and Ron. Last week we mentioned, and it might have happened by now. We mentioned that Kate and Ron were waiting for a procedure for Ron, and they're still waiting. May that happen soon, and they really are in our thoughts and our hearts. A stone of continuing concern as well. We think of all those who have suffered from fire and floods and storm. May we do what is in our power to help prevent extreme weather and to care for our earth. One last stone. May we hold the joys and sorrows of this gathered community and the sadness and wonders of this amazing earth in our hearts. One last stone for that. Let us join in a moment of silence. Let us be still across this electronic highway. Let us be still together.
This morning's reading comes from UU minister, poet, and author, the Reverend Dory J. Summers. We, all of us, build houses for our dreams. The masonry and lumber, glass and tiles, a solid form wherein we see our hopes, a shelter and protection for our growth. This house shall be a dwelling place for courage, for integrity, for love. Engendered, nourished by a family that speaks of we and means all humankind. These walls shall represent the privacy and dignity of individuals. The open doors a welcome to all people, all ages, all generations. The windows shall keep light of inquiry illumining from outside and within. May all words spoken here be born of love, and energy rekindle in the hearts of those who dreamed this house, who plied the tools and paid the price to actualize the dream. May dreaming never cease for those within, who know the world to be a troubled place, but dare to struggle with imperfections toward the brighter hope, that better day. Let memories add warmth, a heritage, a quilted patchwork stitched with history of kindliness, of daring for the good, of funny moments, jokes, and smiles, and tears. This is a precious place, as every home that shelters those who love and strive and share. Its blessings is in lives that meet within, in living, learning, caring, sheltered here.
Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? What are we? Where are we going? Where do we come from? Where do we come from? Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. Mystery, mystery, life is a riddle and a mystery. That's a hymn by Brian Tate, and it's out of our teal hymnal that seems so appropriate for our times, eh? Mystery. Life is a riddle and a mystery. And where are we going? Yes. We find ourselves in a time that is particularly veiled in mystery, veiled in uncertainty. Yet here we are. We're here, living, breathing, still connected with each other and reaching out to each other, into the community, navigating our way through these strange times, figuring it out as we go. As I was thinking about this morning's annual Sermon on the Mount, yes, this Pledge Sunday message, I had sort of a woo-woo moment. I started to remember my Pledge Sunday sermon message from last year. I had shared then that I had found this precious 1880 Unitarian pamphlet. It was a Unitarian congregation in Buffalo, New York, had outgrown their church building of a few decades. And in this pamphlet, produced for the occasion, I found the last sermon preached by that minister in that congregation, the farewell discourse in the old church building, delivered by Reverend Schirmerhorn or something like that. I read these words to you last year, but here's the woo-woo part. Who knew that section, that reading, would be a foreshadowing in some ways of things to come, that its message would be truer this year than even perhaps last year. Here's the reading again. By what do we mean by a church? The stone, brick, mortar, wood, glass, paint, metal, carpets, and cushions, which all put together constitute an edifice, which is properly called a church. A mistake very commonly made with reference to the meaning of the word church is that it applies to the edifice in which people gather for religious purposes, rather than to the people themselves. The original church was the people without reference to the place. Not it, but they, the people, assembled. A living, loving organism of human hearts, hands, heads, not a cold, dead edifice of stone, brick, and wood, constitute a church, said Reverend Shearmanim, I'll try and do it justice. Okay. The name is Reverend Shearmerhorn. Okay. A living, loving organism of human hearts, hands, heads, not a cold, dead edifice of stone, brick, and wood, constitute a church. You dedicate this edifice by dedicating yourselves. So this year, more than any, we have discovered this truth, that you and I and all of us are the First Unitarian Church, or are the First Unitarian Congregation of Ottawa. Not a building, but a people, a community, a living, loving organism of human hearts, hands, and heads that every day is working towards our highest values and aspirations, even when we can't be in the same building, the same room together. This year, more than ever, we have pushed through our four walls and haven't let a global pandemic stop us from getting together, virtually, on the phone, in socially distanced walks, and on each other's and bars and restaurants' decks, yes? Raising money for good causes, we're still doing it. Presenting lectures, fulfilling pledges, making deliveries from groceries to glasses to underwear and toiletries. Even the committee meetings continue. Last year, when I said we were more than brick and mortar, it was a lovely notion, yes? But this year, we had to show our steel and demonstrate it. Whatever financial plans and occasions we had marked on our FirstU calendar, we had to let much of it go. We had to be flexible and resilient and respond to changing, uncertain times. We had to make a shift. Before March of this year, some of our committees and other groups were trying to be flexible when a member couldn't be present for or could only teleconference or phone into a meeting. Now Zoom has become our new norm, yes? Before March of this year, if you slept in and missed a Sunday service, eventually you might be able to listen to an audio recording of the sermon. But now you can click on and watch the full Sunday service that very Sunday, or whenever you want to, with popcorn and wine in the middle of the night. Actually from anywhere in the world that you have enough bandwidth to do, yes? Before March, you all were pushing out and reaching out beyond our four walls through food drives and the Talipathon, protests on Parliament Hill, partnering with Ottawa and Child Haven and the Stephen Lewis Foundation and Multi-Faith Housing Initiative and more. And yes, the work will continue. But now we have even more tools in our tool belt for reaching out. We needn't just ask ourselves how to bring people into our building, into our doors. Now we can bring FirstU out to the people, yes? Not just on our feet. We can do it in our armchairs through the electronic highway. The Holtom lecture last month included viewers from across Canada's borders. Almost every Sunday, my mom comes to join us from the United States when we put our service on YouTube. Because you and others have maintained your support of FirstU through your offering of volunteer time, dollars, and talent, we this year have made the switch over to what actually has become known as Church 2.0. A church without walls, a church that is not quite as traditional and conventional as it might have been before. We can push outside of our walls again, not just with our feet, but with tools to connect and network through technology to stretch out beyond just brick and mortar. I can't imagine how difficult the isolation of the 1917 Spanish flu must have been without the ease we now have of picking up a phone, going online, the ability of seeing our loved ones over Zoom. Perhaps not our preference, but this is the safe thing for us to do right now as much as we can. And this technology just really has been such a lifeline for so many of us. Another something that came up during our Holtom lecture, President of the United Nations Association of Canada, our speaker, Kate White, shared that there is a significant number of congregations in Canada and nonprofits who will be actually closing their doors permanently because of the effects of COVID. If you can imagine. I have UU colleagues in the United States who have been actually let go, or they've had their staff let go, or many congregations in the U.S. are worried that they might have to close their doors permanently, that they may fold. But you all have preserved and thrived. FirstU continues to thrive, be active, and flourish. The work continues, the joy continues, the care continues. A young entrepreneur, James Kelly, actually from Waterloo, Ontario, formed a company called Faith Tech. And as the name suggests, it has combined faith and technology. He's inspired many Christian faith communities with his oft-repeated quote, "In the midst of devastation, there's an opportunity for innovation." I think we've found that before March, all the things we're relying on now, Zoom and soon live streaming and our social media, maybe before we thought was kind of extra and was well, maybe we'll get it, maybe now not. But now we've made that switch to really use it to help us connect as a community, as a congregation. You have all proven this to be true this year, that you respond to these changes with innovation. What an amazing transition you have made from a brick and mortar structure to the electronic highway. So that when we all do return to the building, we're not going to have to choose and go backwards and choose between one way to be together or the other. We will have tools from both both the structure, the wood and the spire and everything, as well as these tools, these virtual tools to reach out. The in-person experience of being together again in our beautiful space, and the ability to join a meeting or a Sunday service in the comfort of your own home on a blustery winter evening someday, or morning in the middle of winter, yes? That will stay, that ability will stay, that capability will stay with us now that we were able to make those purchases, and our wonderful volunteers have helped, and our staff have helped us learn these tools and know how to use them, and we keep perfecting them, yes? As Lisa read this morning from the poem of Reverend Summers, we all of us build houses for our dreams, the masonry and lumber, glass and tiles, a solid form wherein we see our hopes, as shelter and protection for our growth. This house, our house on 30 Cleary, shall be a dwelling place for courage, for integrity, for love, but that it's right here too, right? When we join together. Engendered, nourished by a family that speaks of we and means all humankind. The open doors, a welcome to all people, all ages, and all generations. The windows shall keep light of inquiry, illumining from outside and within. We will all meet again someday in the building FirstU built for our dreams. But we don't need to wait to fulfill our dreams and highest aspirations. May dreaming, as Reverend Summers said, may dreaming never cease for those who know the world to be a troubled place. Nor action, yes? Let us dare to struggle toward the brighter hope, that better day. Hold on to the warmth of memories, a heritage, a quilted patchwork, as Reverend Summers said, stitched with history of kindness and daring, of funny moments, jokes and smiles and tears. There's more to come. Even during a virtual trivia night, may we continue to make FirstU a precious place, as every home that shelters those who love and strive and share. Whether we are creating that sacred space in person or online or on the telephone. I found a blessing from 1916 for it was a dedication, a blessing for a new Unitarian church building to house a congregation established in the 1800s. Here's the blessing. Stand firm, gray rock, tough weathered beam, hold fast. Staunch walls, proud roof, repel the wintry blast. Glow warm within, with highest hope and joy. Clear flame of love, burn brighter, warmer still. Wherever we may be, may we continue to stand firm in the storm, but bend with the winds of change as we need to do. And when we think of our FirstU family, our FirstU community, may we glow warm from within with highest hope and joy. May we continue to build our dreams, reach out and support each other in the greater community to help make the world a better place. Glow warm from within, a clear flame of love, and burn brighter, warmer still. May it be so on this Pledge Sunday and throughout our days. May it be so.
For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. for needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks for all that is alive. For sorrow we must bear, for failures, pain, and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, we come with praise and thanks for all that is alive. For all that is alive, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad.
This is the time in our service when we usually accept the offering. You may go to our website or contact our finance manager to find out how you might keep up with your pledge or to make a donation during these times. We give these gifts freely. We receive these gifts gratefully. We dedicate these gifts to the work of our congregation, serving human wholeness, caring for our planet, upholding religious freedom, welcoming the stranger, loving one another. Today is also the beginning of our pledge drive to fulfill our aspirations for 2021. If we were together at FirstU on Cleary, we would have seen our first contributors to the pledge drive walk their contributions to the front of the sanctuary on this, our Pledge Sunday. Well, we still can. Let's watch.
Let us close with extinguishing the chalice and these words, adapted from my friend and colleague, the Reverend Andy Bakula, a Unitarian atheist minister serving 2 neighboring congregations in England in North London. And he says, these are not normal times. It is not normal to stay at home in fear of catching a dread disease. It is not normal to go out pretending that there is no risk. It is not normal for so many people to be out of work. It is not normal to be waiting for the worst that might yet come. What was normal? It's almost hard to remember. It had something to do with being consumed with work, or the busyness and routine of our daily lives. An almost getting accustomed to racism, homelessness, climate degradation, a kind of insensitivity to hardships of all kinds. We certainly don't want to stay where we are, and we absolutely cannot and should not go back to the old normal. May our hearts guide us to a new future, one without the pain of the present, one without the insensitivity of the past. It is a future that we will create together with hope, with love, with care, with action. May it be so. Let us sing, Spirit of Life.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea. Crueltam vidas mori de justiça, tenurimo, cielum patuam, source de vie, viens vers moi, viens vers moi.
Go in peace, go in joy, go in love. May it be so.